All right. We're back here at Song of the Day, coming to you from the Rock Cave as usual. It is Sunday, June 7th, and I am super excited for Song of the Day today. Just talking about it last night. It's going to be a good one, so buckle up and enjoy. But it is Sunday. You know what? I did tell you that on Sundays I was going to slow things down, kind of be mellow, end up the weekend nice and quiet and everything. I had a song of the day lined up for that today. So far, what is it, like 50%? I haven't been able to do it. Hey, it happens. You know what? I'll save that one for a Sunday another time because we can't ignore this date in history in my musical world. So who are we talking about today? Yep, you got it right. It is the Killers. Good thing I got some more t-shirts lined up. Don't worry when you see that repeat t-shirt. I told you guys. I've got some t-shirts sitting there on that shelf that are going to line up perfectly with Song of the Day. We're just not taking them out yet. So for those of you paying attention, I know you're excited. Anyway, the Killers. On this date in 2004, they released their debut album. And, I mean, what an album, right? I mean, just Hot Fuss is just crazy good, right? So what's going on in '04? Most of us of a certain age, we're having kids, we're doing whatever we're doing, we're busy. I'm saying to myself, music-wise, like, hey, I got my classic rock, I got 60s, I got 80s pop, I got grunge, I got some of this late 90s music that was good, alternative stuff. I don't need any new music. I can just relax on all that stuff. New bands, hard to come by that you really like as you go along. But then every once in a while, someone comes along and you're like, wow, this is great. Love it, right? So '04, the music scene, it's kind of like post-punk, guitar, rock is coming back. Bands are starting to get some traction. You got the likes of, well, Coldplay is around that time too, right? I mean, I think that's when they're around that time. But you got Franz Ferdinand, remember them? I mean, I was obsessed with that record, and that'll probably be one of my song of the days one of these days. Interpol, I mean, there's a lot of room for the guitars here, and so what's happening. So, who are the Killers? Brandon Flowers, born in Nevada, moves to Utah in a Mormon family, then moves back to Vegas. He's in a band as a teenager. It's more of a synthesizer or pop band. He quits that band or gets fired from that band, whatever happens there. He goes to see Oasis in concert, and he's just like, this is what I want to do. Like, I want to be a rock and roll singer. I want to do that. That's what I want to do. So he's looking around at ads. He finds a guitarist. They meet. They start writing demos. They hit it off, and they start performing locally in Vegas area, and they do get some attention as far as that's concerned. They're passing out their demo. They're trying to get stuff done. And they got some band member changes, add another guitarist. The story goes that they have a bunch of demos working along, and then Brandon Flowers says he goes to the Virgin Megastore to get the debut album by The Strokes. This is it. Buys that album, plays it, and is like, oh my gosh, this is the perfect record. Nothing gets better than this. This is what we want to do. This is what I want to sound like. And so they scrapped a ton of their demos and started over again, except for Mr. Brightside. That's the only one to have made it from those sessions. So they're doing their thing. They're not getting any traction in the United States. They're not getting any offers for labels, for recording. They're trying. They're working hard. They're doing their thing. Someone hears them and brings their demo over to the UK, and the BBC radio plays Mr. Brightside in May of 2003, and it starts getting traction there. So they head over that way, and they start picking up steam. They start getting some popularity. They sign to a label there. They start touring. They open up for the likes of Morrissey, and then by May of the next year, May of '04, right before when this record starts coming out, they're already headlining. So they're already doing their own thing. They head back to the United States, and that's when things really pick up, because on this date they released Hot Fuss in the United States, in the UK, and then next week in the United States. So they're picking up steam. The album is really going up the charts. It is number 1 in the UK. It's number 7 in the United States. Gets nominated for 3 Grammys. They win the MTV Award for Best New Artist. They are the most selling new artist in the world that year. All kinds of awards that are nominated for. The first single in the United States is not Mr. Brightside. It's Somebody Told Me. And for that whole album, they used some kind of recording. They used a filter, or whatever the right word is for it, whatever They use it was brand new, and they used it for the whole album. That's how they got that sound on that album, that kind of like garage sound to it. But it turns out that many of those songs were left in demo form. They weren't re-recorded, so a lot of them were just picked up right from how they originally recorded them, which makes it feel like it's such a raw record like that. So let's talk about that record. We'll do the Killers again on this show because I love this band and there's lots more to talk about them. So that's why we're talking about this album alone. This is like a greatest hits. You could play this whole album front to back and be happy with it. You got Jenny Was a Friend of Mine, Mr. Brightside, Somebody Told Me, All the Things That I've Done, Andy You're a Star, and Smile Like You Mean It. Those are awesome. Sleeper, that you hear on satellite radio, but if you don't know it, you gotta play it. It's called On Top. That's one of my favorite songs by them. I'm gonna post it below underneath the song of the day, just in case you haven't heard it before. Give it a shot. It's a great song. If I'm gonna do song of the day, it's hard to pick, right? But I gotta go with the song that I heard first that I was just obsessed with. Made sure I had played at every party I ever had, at every gathering. We played the CD back and forth. In car trips, we just wore this record out. But this song just really it's just built for arena rock, right? Like it's just like built for that. I mean, we haven't seen them in concert yet. Want to see them? We've always wanted to see them. Every time they went by and played Mohegan Sun, we were always out of town on vacation. It seems like they were always showing up in August. We'll have to see them in a bigger venue because now it seems like they only do stadium shows. It's too bad we missed out on that. It's great when you can catch an artist early on, when you get to see them in a little bit smaller venue. But looking forward to be able to see them at some point. So, song of the day. All These Things That I've Done. Great song. Turn it up. I know it's Sunday, but this is a good one. I'm super excited today. I think I'm going to listen to this whole album today. Definitely this morning. I'm going to go do that next. Enjoy. I'll put On Top there also. Check that one out. Have a great day, and you know what? We'll see you on the flip side.